A 22-year-old woman who set fire to a Casper abortion clinic is sentenced. Wyoming's favorite Grizzly, number 399, is stocking up for winter, and that winter could be longer than the last brutal one, according to meteorologist Don Day. Bringing you these stories and more from Wyoming's largest news organization, I'm Wendy Corr for Cowboy State Daily. Even those who directly suffered from Lorna Green's decision to set fire to a Casper abortion and transgender treatment clinic last year expressed sympathy for the 22-year-old Casper woman as she was sentenced to 5 years in prison Thursday. Cowboy State Daily's Leo Wolfson reported that Green said little at the hearing besides a brief apology for her actions. However, she did relate some experiences from her childhood, which she said shaped her worldview.
She painted kind of a dark portrait of her childhood, basically saying that her parents were very strict with her growing up. Her parents had predetermined expectations for her and that she should focus on supporting a husband rather than pursuing her own dreams. It was unclear exactly how this childhood related to her going to commit arson at the abortion clinic in Casper.
Julie Burkhart, president of the Wellspring Health Access organization that runs the clinic, said it's a tragedy that Lorna Green's life has been derailed because of her criminal actions. Well, if Wyoming's beloved Grizzly 399 has been moving around a lot lately, it's likely because she and her cub are looking for what amounts to Grizzly superfood as they pack on the pounds in preparation for winter hibernation. That superfood for Grizzlies is piles of elk guts left by hunters, according to Outdoors reporter Mark Hines.
They're taking advantage of hunters' elk gut piles right now and fattening up for the winter. And it's hard to believe it's coming down to that time when they're going to start denning up for the winter and hibernating.
It was at about this time last year that she went off the radar, presumably ambling off into the backcountry to hibernate. There was concern this spring when she didn't emerge as early as many of her fans expected, but worry turned into jubilation when she emerged in mid-May with a brand new cub, which bear watchers dubbed Spirit. A former Gillette librarian is suing 3 local activists, claiming they conspired to have her fired and defamed her. Terry Leslie on Wednesday filed a 44-page civil lawsuit in the U.S. District Court for Wyoming against Hugh and Susan Bennett and their son Kevin for continuing to publicly insinuate that she was distributing pornography by refusing to ban some books from the Gillette Public Library, even after she was cleared of any such charges in a court case. That's according to Cowboy State Daily's Claire McFarland.
The special prosecutor on the case ultimately said these books are not obscenity under the law, and even if they were, librarians are exempt from obscenity charges in Wyoming if they were acting in the scope of their duties. So he declined to charge her. After that, according to Leslie's lawsuit, the Bennett family continued to accuse her of criminal behavior.
Kevin Bennett emailed a statement to Cowboy State Daily Thursday saying that their actions were meant simply to protect children from things he described as pedophilic in nature. I'll be back with more news right after this.
At Hilltop Bank, we understand that buying a home is a big decision. That's why we're here to be your trusted partner on the path to home ownership. Our experienced mortgage team will guide you every step of the way, from pre-approval to closing. We offer competitive rates and a wide variety of home loan options to best suit your needs. With our local knowledge and personalized service, you'll feel confident and comfortable throughout the entire home buying process. Contact us today to start your journey toward home ownership. Hilltop Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
U.S. Representative Harriet Hageman earlier this week blasted Rocky Mountain Power for their 30% rate hike that they're proposing. And on Wednesday, RMP fired back, saying the increases are simply to cover the company's costs. Cowboy State Daily's Leo Wolfson reports that Hageman criticized the hikes as Democratic attempts to shut down fossil fuels and increase dependence on what she sees as unreliable alternative energies.
She said this was an attempt by the company to deflect measures that it's been taking to invest in alternative energies, and this is what happens when you start moving towards those energies.
The company, however, says the increases are solely a result of significant spikes in the cost of natural gas and coal for their thermal plants, along with rising costs of power on the regional wholesale market. With winter approaching, everyone wants to know what to expect this season, so Cowboy State Daily's Andrew Rossi cornered meteorologist Don Day to get some answers.
This winter isn't going to be as intense because it's going to be more spread out. The winter season is definitely going to be and feel longer than last year's.
Ultimately, Day falls back to the most accurate and sometimes frustrating forecast. The winter will be what it will be. And a Crook County father and son are facing felony-level property destruction charges, accused of bleaching crude images onto their neighbors' cows. Cowboy State Daily's Claire McFarland reports that there were 2 criminal complaints filed last month in the Sundance Circuit Court alleging that 66-year-old Patrick Carroll and his 34-year-old son Tucker took drastic and creative measures to get their neighbors' attention after 3 years of having cattle cross onto their land.
They funneled the cows into a chute, allegedly, and bleach dyed their hair. The criminal complaint claims that some of the heifers had male genitalia shapes bleached onto their ribs.
Rusty Williamson of Williamson Land and Livestock estimated each bleached animal now is worth $500 to $700 less per head, so the loss among 189 heifers would be $141,750. And that's today's news. Get your free digital subscription to Wyoming's only statewide newspaper by hitting the subscribe button on CowboyStateDaily.com. I'm Wendy Corr for Cowboy State Daily.